Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Kat Timpf Show. We got some Ben Kissel here.
Oh, yeah. It's good to be here, Catherine.
Some of him.
It's all of me.
It's all of you.
I'm doing nothing but gaining weight. Yesterday, I had a bunch of milk and soup, milky soup. It was disgusting. 1% milk. I mixed it with the chicken vegetable at around 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh,
it was phenomenal.
no.
It actually tasted great. It was like an Indian type thing. It was a very good dish.
Oh, it's time.
Your alarm clock sounds like you're a fireman just rushing into a blaze.
It does.
About to rush into a blaze.
About to. Oh, man. I do feel like I'm dying. I did drink. Whenever I go out with these bar stool bros.
Oh, my goodness.
I can't do it anymore.
You're going to get in trouble. You'll get arrested. They all get arrested for protesting Roger Goodell, which I thought was amazing. I stand with Barstool.
Yeah, I do too. I've never been arrested, though.
You've never been arrested.
Isn't it amazing?
That is amazing, yes.
I mean, have you seen the way I behave in public?
Yeah, well, I think, you get a pass. You're a small, petite, white woman. I think you can basically do whatever you want in public, and officers will leave you alone. If I look at an officer wrong, I'll get beat up.
See, here's what I'm concerned about. That time period in my life between, being a hot girl, which I am now.
Sure.
And being an old woman, so you can get away with anything. If you're a really hot girl or a really old woman, when I'm just like a middle-aged lady, and I'm gonna have to be responsible for my behavior.
Oh yeah.
What am I gonna do?
Well, you can't go around macing people. You definitely have to live by the standards that we all currently live in.
I don't know if I can live that way.
Well, I don't think you're actually gonna have a huge period of aging. I think you'll be fine for a long time because you're thin, you're skeletal, which helps.
Yeah, that's true. Although I think I'll also just get old as fuck overnight.
Could be.
I'll go on a bender.
Yeah.
And then I'll wake up a grandmother.
That's not bad. Like one of those optical illusion pictures where it's the young lady or it's the grandmother. But the great irony is it's both the whole time.
Oh, my gosh.
Isn't that powerful? That's a powerful message, by the way, Kat. You just totally browsed over my powerful message.
What was it?
It's the old woman and the young woman. You know the optical illusion?
Yes.
It's both the whole time. I'm breaking minds over here.
It's true. You're breaking my mind right now.
Thank you.
Oh, my gosh. My stomach hurts. So
no, you sound exactly how you look, as a matter of fact. For those listening, you can have Katherine Timpf hungover.
Yeah.
On a Sunday here in beautiful New York City.
Yeah, definitely.
It is actually wonderful outside.
So yesterday, a guy texted me from looking for someone named Greg for golf tickets.
Okay.
He texted the wrong number.
Ooh, what a douchey request.
And I talked to him all day.
How'd it go?
Well, now he won't stop texting me.
Is this probably, this must be your longest relationship in about 10 years.
Yeah, it is.
So what were these golf tickets? And by the way, if you like golf, it's not the douchiest thing of all time. That's fine. You can like golf. But what were these golf tickets?
I don't know. He was looking for someone named Greg who had Masters tickets.
Oh, my
And I just talked to him all day. So that's where I am right now emotionally.
The Masters, I always found it to be sort of racially insensitive, but it's an elitist sport in many ways. The reason I don't golf is I got a $500 fine for chipping the greens on a golf course when I was in high school. I had to go work at Wendy's to pay it off.
Wendy's? How was it working at Wendy's?
Oh, 3 months of straight hell because you can't eat the patties. They kick you off the line if you do that. And the chili is full of 2-day-old beef. Never eat the Wendy's chili. And, of course, there was a buffet at this Wendy's in Wisconsin where I was working.
You won't eat the Wendy's chili?
No, because it's old beef.
But you'll put milk in your canned soup, like a garbage.
1% milk, yes. So that's you have a little fat.
There was a buffet at Wendy's in Wisconsin.
Yes.
That is disgusting. That's the grossest shit I've ever heard.
Well, they had a good it had some Mexican flair to it. There was some ground beef, also old beef, and then some nacho cheese and your chips and some people dabbled in the salad department. Wendy's was going crazy in the 90s. They were trying to do whatever they could to get people to go through those doors. It's a strange product.
Is that where the bar bat mitzvah flasher was from, Wisconsin?
No, but we did talk. We were talking about people getting arrested, and I have a 20-year high school reunion coming up in 3 years.
Oh boy,
which is crazy, right? So my friend is organizing it. She was valedictorian. She's a great person, and she sent me a picture of our high school, the high school picture. It's a small class of like 64. So it was like, oh, what's happening to these people? Where are they now? I find out one of these people, the most quiet girl, she never spoke in 4 years, And I'm like, what happened? Well, she's off of Facebook. What happened? I Google her name. She flashed a bar mitzvah. She was charged with 18 I don't know what counts of like misdemeanor sexual assault or something with a minor. She was getting groped on. So that was interesting.
Wait, so she just wanted kids to touch her boobs?
I have no clue what happened. But either way, they were post mitzvah, so they were men.
Yeah,
they were men at that point by Jewish law, and I think that's wonderful.
Jewish law.
So yeah, I guess she just got drunk, flashed a bar mitzvah, and then believe it or not, the parents got mad, and she had fake boobs apparently paid for by the mother of the child that she flashed. So I think they were just like they wanted to see the surgical work.
Yeah.
And and when we have new boobs, I would assume it's like a new car. You want to show it around, and let people know that hey, I got something flashy. And I guess that was the thing. I mean, what's the point of having new boobs? I guess if you're not going to flash them, right. Either way, but don't do it in front of 13 kids at a bar mitzvah, or it might even. I think it was 18 kids. That's why it was 18 counts.
Oh,
but it was fascinating though. You would never, and then you go through the list and you're just like, oh, that person's twice divorced, that person's morbidly obese, and then you have some good people, obviously. But that's the interesting thing when looking back on your high school memories. I graduated in 2000. Some of the people that everyone thought were going to be super successful are just total failures, and then other ones who were super quiet are flashing kids.
So she's not in the failure category.
Not in my opinion. No, I thought they treated her a little bit too rough. Slight double standard, though. If it was an old man whipping his Johnson around, a series of kids who had just been mitzvahed, I'd say lock him up.
Right.
But I say let her out, free her.
Yeah, but what about free the nipple?
That's the good point. It's a strong feminist statement that she was making, and
yeah,
we can't sit here and demonize her for it. It was in Arizona. Everyone's drunk in Arizona. I love the state, but let's not deny that people like to sauce it up a little bit.
I'm just saying, like, why not? I mean, breastfeeding, you feed the kids with the boobs.
Well, you can't after you do the surgery because then the kids are all getting hopped up like superheroes.
I think you can breastfeed after a
I don't think so, Kat. That would hurt the child because you got the silicone in there. Yeah, you're gonna make the kid have bizarre abilities or make him autistic.
I can't.
Most
okay,
likely.
Jenny McCarthy.
Oh, leave Jenny alone. Another one, free the nipple. Jenny McCarthy. I love Jenny McCarthy. I think she's extremely smart, and people don't give her enough credit for being an intelligent spokesperson for anti-vaxxers.
Yeah, they can affect your ability to breastfeed.
Of course they do.
But they
how does the milk get out of there? It doesn't make any sense.
Breastfeeding after breast augmentation implants. This photo is this.
Oh my! If this is the girl from high school, I'll be upset. Oh, it's just a baby having the time of its life.
It's a big boob on a breast.
A big boob and a small baby.
It says the potential problem. Once you've delivered a baby and your milk has come in, you may have exaggerated breast engorgement. Ew, breast engorgement.
Good Lord. They are not having any fun with the conversation.
Can I breastfeed? Most likely. It depends on the kind of surgery you had. Most approaches are compatible with breastfeeding.
Oh, well, there you go. I didn't realize that. I thought it was off the table if you pumped them up there, but I guess not. Well, that's good.
If you're able to produce only a portion of the breast milk your baby needs, you'll need to supplement with formula or donor milk.
Donor milk?
Donor milk.
So that just requires these human beings to be glorified cows and constantly have to lactate?
Donor milk breast. I just Googled donor milk breast. How do I become a breast milk donor?
Oh my goodness, this is some craziness. This reminds me of The Hand That Rocks the Cradle with Rebecca De Mornay. Next thing you know, your donor milker is trying to take over your child's life. I don't think that's a good idea. You get all the hormones from the milk. You're going to change the personality of the child.
Yeah, of the child.
You are. I am not a medical doctor. That is true. So if you are in need of donor milk, go out there and get it. But it does. So these people are just always ready to milk whenever because that's their job. I don't understand it. It seems like a strain. It's a finite. There's a finite
it's excess
quantity.
Breast milk.
Oh,
so if you're giving your kid breast milk and you got extra, there's a lot of these. There's helpinghandsbank.com. Breast milk. There's Mother's Milk Bank. There's the Human Milk Banking Association of North America. There's the New York Milk Bank.
Well, these all sound like you just walk into a room and it's full of a bunch of 50-year-old dudes making honk honk noise or movements with their hands trying to milk a person. This isn't right.
Buy, sell, and donate breast milk at Only the Breast. with our discreet.
They did not use a pun.
With our.
It's only the breast?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Good for you. That's, when I'm looking for someone to give me donor milk out of their breast, I always want a funny one. I always want a good, funny company.
Buy, sell, or donate breast milk with our discreet classified system.
Oh, it's only the breast. That's what I've heard.
This is bad. Human milk banking and other donor milk.
Well, what on earth is the other?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. That's like probably the soup that I had last night. Milky soup.
This is a for-profit milk bank. That one's for-profit.
That's good. What are they turning these days?
People also ask, what is donor breast milk? How much is donated breast milk? How much can you sell your breast milk for?
I mean, there's just a series of people out of work, borderline homeless, trying to sell their breast milk.
Babies need between 19 and 30 ounces of breast milk daily. From the age of 1 to 6 months, so selling milk can be quite lucrative. For example, if you sold 25 ounces of breast milk per day at $2.50 an ounce per year, you'd make almost $23,000.
Holy hell, you're an industry. That's the thing with being a woman. I can't do that. No one. I mean, I obviously some substances, but no one wants to, milk my breasts.
No,
Isn't that sad?
So you could just stay pregnant all the time and sell your breast milk.
I guess, do you have to stay pregnant? I think if you just never stop pumping it, you get pregnant, and then you keep pumping the whole time. I think you can just maintain a steady flow of milk.
How old is too old to breastfeed?
Oh my God! Well, some of these people, 4 years old, I've seen people breastfeeding. I was a good 16 months. I think I was a bit late.
Yeah,
I loved it. Why wouldn't you like it?
It's
fun stuff.
I guess it's like people are in worldwide. There's children that are weaned between 2 and 6 years old.
6 years old, I think, is a bit old.
You're like playing video games at the same time.
Yeah, doing arithmetic. I don't think that's a good idea. 6 years old seems a bit. There was a kid when I was growing up, and he was very attached to his mother, over-attached, and he used to bring her hair in a Ziploc bag with him every single day to school, and when he would get nervous, he would rub it all over his body.
What?
That is totally true. He would bring hair in a Ziploc bag. He would start freaking out. He had ADHD. They ended up building a fake brick wall around his desk. This was a very strange Christian school I went to. And then
he would bring breast milk to school.
No, hair.
Hair.
His mother's hair. I mean, so you could imagine he was probably still breastfeeding. The kid was probably 11 years old, rubbing his mother's hair all over his body because he was having a panic attack. I mean, not emotionally stable. And so God knows what he did when it comes to the breast milk. But yeah, you got to wean him off a little bit earlier, I think, than 6 years old. At some point, if the kid can just like stand up and reach you, that's too old.
And be like, hey, Mom, how are you?
Yeah, having an adult conversation, talking about paying taxes. Next thing you know, you're feeding the damn kid. That's ridiculous.
Is it at what point is it illegal? Like,
Well, that's a good question.
At what
As soon as they're bar mitzvahed.
Breastfeeding illegal?
Can't believe this person just went around flashing a mitzvah.
Okay, there's answers to everything on the internet.
It really is amazing.
Extended breastfeeding and the law, La Leche League.
Oh my goodness.
Breastfeeding and the courts.
It's only the breast courts around.
Social service agencies have looked at the issue of extended breastfeeding numerous times over the past 10 years. But not one social service agency has upheld any finding that extended breastfeeding constitutes abuse or is any way harmful to the child. So
it seems like you got free reign to feed the kid whenever to whatever age you deem worthy.
I guess, or
maybe necessary.
Maybe nobody got caught doing it when they're like 15.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's a whole nother thing. That's got to fall. You can't just claim, "Oh, I was breastfeeding my kid."
Yeah.
Very interesting. Well, now I want to try to become a breast milk donor if I could. Men can lactate under extreme circumstances.
They can?
Yes. I don't know what the circumstances are. Maybe you're watching some sort of bizarre rodeo or monster truck rally. I have no idea what makes a man lactate, but they can lactate.
Monster trucks are dope.
I would love to have a monster truck. I used to watch it constantly growing up, and I would like to go to see Oh, you know what was at Madison Square Garden? The Westminster Dog Show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to go this past Tuesday. I wasn't able to make it. I got too busy to see the dogs, so I just watched Best in Show instead, and that was fun.
I did a protest for Fox News. I started a protest outside the Westminster Dog Show.
Why?
Because of the cats being in the dog show.
The cats are in the dog show?
There are cats like on display at the Meet the Breeds event.
No.
And my idea was that cats were too good for that. For the
There
dogs.
should be a cat show with some dogs at it.
Well, my thing is like, if you like, let's say you like hockey.
Sure.
Okay, it's sport. You go to the hockey game. Should there be baseball players batting shit around on the ice also?
Well, now that I think about it, yes.
It's the
I
same
think that would be
principle.
kind of fun, though, if there was a baseball game happening while a hockey game was happening, just to see what would occur.
I did a lot of I did dumb video, walked around with signs, get your fleas off my Siamese, shit like that. Props are great for videos.
I love it.
People love props.
Oh, that's funny. Well, there should just be a cat show, but at the end of the day, cats, they don't follow the rules. They're rogue.
Mm-hmm.
And dogs are just better, more obedient animals for a show. But I mean, that's why people love their cats, because they're independent,
Yeah,
But dogs are they're perfect to be on display.
they are. I mean,
I was very close to adopting a Chihuahua named Brooklyn, whose picture.
that's the trashiest dog I've ever heard. A Chihuahua named Brooklyn.
Yeah, and in the picture on the no-kill shelter that I was looking at, because I just look at no-kill shelters pictures online on a regular basis, it looked awful and mean, and the description was like, Brooklyn doesn't get along with anybody, but it'll love, you or whatever, and I was like, I can tame it, but I didn't go. I did not. I don't. If I walked into a shelter, I'd take every single dog with me, like some bizarre Pied Piper for Chihuahuas. But I love a good Chihuahua, and I wanted to go see that dog show. So did a lot of people respond to your no cats at the dog show
It was a
protest?
hit. It was a hit.
It's a big hit.
It was a big hit. You know what else is a big hit? Stamps.com. These days, you can get practically everything on demand. This podcast, you can listen whenever you want, when it's convenient for you. So, I mean, why are you still going to the post office with their limited hours? You can get postage on demand with Stamps.com. Anything you can do at the post office, you can do right from your desk, sitting on your butt with Stamps.com. But you know what? You really shouldn't wait, okay? Because it's going to change your life. You shouldn't wait when you find something that's going to change your life. Right now, use my name, which is Kat, for this special offer. A 4-week trial.
Whoa.
Includes postage and a digital scale.
Well, I should hope
you can mail or weigh your mail right at your desk. Do not wait. Go to Stamps.com. Before you do anything else, click on the radio microphone at the top of the homepage and type in Kat. That's Stamps.com. Enter Kat. That's K-A-T as in me. Stamps.com. Never go to the post office again.
Well, I always like a good trip to the post office, meeting the people. But now email, they must not like that at Stamps.com.
Email?
Yeah, email in general. I think it's going to hurt in the brand. But they offer free postage, which makes sense.
Yeah.
They have a lot of it.
You got to. Yeah, they're just a house full of stamps.
It's nonstop stamps. That's good.
Stamps. I get really.
You know why don't they come out with flavored stamps? Because you got to lick the thing. Why not a good lime flavor or something that's just like Dorito Extreme? Why not
Dorito flavored stamps?
I don't know.
You're the
Yeah, why not have a
milk soup and Dorito flavored stamps? You should
my goodness,
just get out of here.
I should
and
open a
walk
restaurant
downstairs and where the traffic is, just lay down.
Like The Program. That was a great movie back in the day. Milky Soup and Stamps. That's a great name for a restaurant. You lick the stamp, that's an appetizer, and then you get your milky soup. By the milk in soup is a normal thing, Ken.
Yeah, but
I mean, it was mildly disgusting at 3 o'clock in
this
the morning.
guy every single day eats a whole bag of pretzels mixed with mayonnaise.
I don't eat pretzels with mayonnaise. You started that rumor years ago, and I still get tweets about mayonnaise and pretzels and these elitist scumbags.
Everybody knows about it.
No, but it's not necessarily true.
Yes, it is.
Well,
I saw you do it.
Mayonnaise it's a lard-based product, and you have a carb in your pretzel, so that really does kind of go hand in hand. It's very French.
Mm-hmm.
It's European. They dip, the Europeans dip French fries in mayonnaise. They do everything with mayonnaise. So as a culture, we do need to change our opinion on mayonnaise.
I love mayonnaise.
And what it can be used for. Flavored stamps, that's where it's at.
Mayonnaise flavored stamps.
Oh.
Breast milk flavored stamps.
They're only the breast. That's what I've heard. Wow. Yes, I mean, I agree. We got to get more. Everything should be flavored.
Like what?
Just anything that could be possibly licked by somebody at any time. I think that would be it.
Someone at a bar licked me last night.
Really?
Right in the face.
Did you like that?
But then he walked away. It was very confusing.
What, did you want his phone number?
Did I?
Yeah.
No.
Why did he lick you?
He came up to me, licked me like a kitty cat on my cheek, and then walked away. New York's a weird place, man.
Well, I don't think that's worse than flashing a mitzvah.
Yeah, it's not illegal. That should be illegal.
Kat, I think it is illegal.
Should I file a police report?
I mean, he's like licking you like you are a stamp, and that's not appropriate whatsoever.
What do you think NYPD would do if I walked in and tried to report a face
pretty
licking?
blonde from Fox News? They would be like, red alert. Let's wake up the captain. Let's go find this random licker, and then they'd probably just arrest any person with a tongue.
Yeah.
It's not right. The over-prosecution is really happening. There was 2 detectives I just read about, but we're not going to talk about that on this show.
What?
They were just they planted all these drugs on this dude. He spent 52 months or 52 days at Rikers. And I mean, what a nightmare that is. And he was totally innocent, and the only reason he was able to get off is because there's security footage of them planting the drugs on him. And otherwise, he would have just been, I mean, God knows what they were. I think it was like facing like 15 years imprisonment. It's not right. But anyway, the person who should go to prison is this mystery licker. I don't like him one bit. Who just goes and licks a random person in a bar? He must have been mildly attractive. Otherwise, I mean,
he kind of was.
Yeah, that's why you let him get away with it.
I mean,
Isn't that strange?
This is Donald Trump's America. People are licking. Men just think they can lick people's faces.
That's not right.
There's this.
I mean, was he a celebrity? Was he very wealthy? In that case, maybe that is a Trumpian-like move.
I don't know. There's all these.
There are a lot of very average people who feel like they are Donald Trump. It's like Donald Trump is he's not really a billionaire. That's a lie. But you're not Donald Trump.
I'm not. Well, here's the thing. Do you see that guy at that rally or whatever who was like, "I love Trump," and I
didn't see.
I've always loved him. I'm gonna see if I can find it.
But he was just a big proponent, a big fan.
He said he's been it's a CNN interview. He got brought up on stage by Donald Trump.
Oh, I saw that a little bit. Yeah,
it's absolutely one of the most absurd things that I've ever seen.
Well, that's
and
his
I'm
bread
looking
and butter.
for it right
he
now.
loves to campaign. Not to get too in the weeds with politics here, because this is a different kind of show where we talk about stamps mostly
and breast milk.
Yeah. But that was paid for by his 2020 campaign. He's already in campaign mode. The speech he gave, the rally he gave in Palm Beach. And so, of course, he brings people on stage. He's great at campaigning. If it would just end there and he never actually had to be president, he's the best campaigner in chief we've ever had. He's very fun. It's good. He's a good pep rally guy.
This is the most bizarre interview I've ever seen in my life, and I'm gonna play it real quick.
This is from CNN. I heard it was fake news.
Yeah, they're fake news. That's what I heard. I love fake news. I love just that argument. Fake news.
This is a man who called Alex Jones the day after he was elected to thank him. Alex Jones believes in chemtrails and reptilians.
This is an amazing interview. I don't know how to do this. This is really local.
President Trump supporters were there speaking on stage in what appeared to be an impromptu invitation.
But we stuck together and in and out of lies and terrible things always said about him. But we stuck together, and it's just an amazing feeling where I'm at right now. It's unbelievable.
So I have to ask you, there was a moment there where he sort of whispered something into your ear. What did he say? He goes, "You're great." if I'm not mistaken, he said, "You are great." And because he saw me, because I was the first one online. I got here at 4 in the morning, so I got a lot of interviews from news people. So President Trump must have seen me on TV. So and I told the reporter that I love President Trump, and President Trump heard me say that. And he told me that on stage. He goes, he said that he loves me.
Look at that. All right.
Because he fights for us each and every second. He didn't have to do this for us. He's 70 years old, a billionaire, beautiful family, and this man comes out and works harder than anyone I've ever seen in my life.
What are you talking about?
That's why he's a winner.
So it's clear he saw you on television giving interviews. If he is watching right now, which he very well may, what would you want to say to him?
What was that now? I did not hear that. I'm sorry.
What would you want to say to him if he's watching right now? Clearly he saw you earlier when you were giving interviews. What would you want to say to him now? To President Trump, I would just say, President Trump, I want to thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to come on stage like that. Mr. President, I've been with you for 2 years. You've probably heard this. Every single second, every day, I'm with you. I got a 6-foot cardboard box of President Trump in my house.
Oh,
and
my
I salute
God.
that every single day. And I pray and tell him, Mr. President, I pray for your safety today. And I'm not lying. I do that every single day to the president, but it's cardboard.
Let me ask you, you said you've been with him from the very beginning. What is it about his message that has resonated with you, Gene?
You know, it's just the way he speaks, that truth. You know, it comes from the heart. That's the most important thing. It comes from his heart, and he speaks the truth. That's what we believe, and our movement believes. I mean, just look at what this started. Look at it. Look at what President Trump says. There's never been a movement like this ever. I've never been into politics in my life. Up until President Trump came down the elevator, and he taught me everything.
So he has been.
Oh my God, I can't listen to this guy anymore. Came down an escalator, by the way.
Prays.
Every day to his sick. Is this North Korea? What is happening? People are like, how do the North Koreans, how do they worship Kim Jong-un? That's how. This speaks from the heart. Well, he definitely doesn't speak from his brain. Good Lord.
He prays to a 6-foot cardboard Trump in his house every day.
Kat, this guy licks you at a bar. You fall in love. Okay? You go home with him. You wake up in the morning, he's saluting a 6-foot cardboard cutout of Donald J. Trump.
Oh,
what do you do? Slowly back out of that home through the window or something?
Yes.
How do you get out of there?
I mean,
a rope out of sheets?
It's a scary situation. Man, that was the funniest thing I ever saw.
Oh, my God. I'm surprised he didn't tell him to grab a girl by the pussy, and when he whispered to him, he said, "You're great." And
You're great.
And him is just, I mean, that really meant something to him.
That guy was like, he said, "You're great."
Oh, I can't believe
I love him, and he loves me.
So prophetic. I can't believe that Donald Trump was able to muster up such wisdom.
You're great.
I love you. You're great.
He taught me, he goes, he taught me everything. He taught me everything.
I never wanted that. You know what? You don't need Trump University to learn from the Donald.
No.
That is for sure. Never got involved in politics before. He's got to be in his 50s.
Yeah.
Just, you know what? Don't start now. How about that? If you didn't vote at 18, you know, well, I guess I'd give you a pass, whatever. I mean, when did you first vote? Oh, you don't.
Yeah, it's not about
too
voting.
much.
It's not about voting.
It's about being aware.
It's about being aware.
That's very
There's a
true.
difference between voting and being into politics. They're not mutually exclusive.
That's a great point.
But I'd never been into politics before until he came down the elevator.
With beautiful Melania, who I do love Melania.
Yeah.
We always have to support. We have to support our Melania. That is so freaking ridiculous, though. But, you know, he's doing that's where he shines. That's where Trump is absolutely at his best, when he's in front of his fans, when he's in front of the adoring crowds that go to meet him. I mean, he said he wasn't going to use the airplane as a prop, but he definitely did use the old Air Force One there as a bit of a prop. But I thought it was that was vintage Donald.
Yeah,
if he would just keep on doing that, he would be such a good cheerleader for a different candidate.
Yeah,
I think he's the best cheerleader for himself.
He's a great cheerleader.
That's it. That's all we can ask for.
I mean, I guess that's all we want in a president.
A cheerleader.
What do you think about this Russia thing? You know, it's
all
fake
huge.
news. That's what
it's
Trump
all
says.
fake
It's
news.
all fake news.
Well, I think, we talk about this on my political show, Abe Lincoln's Top Hat, on a regular basis now with the Russia. I think the Russia hack is massive. Bob Corker, who's a Republican senator, he wants to put a private committee in there, commission to figure it out. Without a doubt, something happened. There was some collusion with the Russian government. It's kind of insane to even think about. The Republican Party is currently backing an administration with Steve Bannon being the mind of it. He's a Leninist. He's a Saul Alinsky strategist. Saul Alinsky is a man who wrote the book, The Rules for Radicals, which is counterintuitive and doesn't really make any sense because radicals should theoretically not have any rules.
Correct.
But the Republicans were just livid with Obama for Saul Alinsky-like political tactics. Now Bannon is in office, and they're all lining up with him, or a lot of the talking heads in the conservative in conservative media and in the Republican wing of in the Republican Party. But Mitch McConnell hates his ass. Reince Priebus is Reince is Reince. But Paul Ryan hates his ass. I think there's going to be a massive mutiny when it comes out, when we find out what happened with the Russians and what former National Security Advisor General Flynn was talking to them about. So who knows? The guy might be impeached in 6 months. And then we have President Mike Pence, which is basically like having, President Albert Fish. I mean, God knows what Mike Pence does in private, and he's allowed to have his private life. But I think that's what's going to happen. That's why you should impeach Pence first if you really want to do it. But it's mayhem. It's only a month in,
Yeah.
Our good friend John McCain, he hates this whole thing. It's utter madness. So it's exciting stuff. I mean, I think this is probably the largest political scandal we've ever seen. Certainly in our lifetime. I mean, this makes Watergate look like it was absolutely nothing. It makes it look like a person, didn't wash their hands after going to the bathroom or something compared to what's happening now.
He just says fake news, which is an interesting strategy. Like, anytime anybody says anything about me that might be like, if I screw up, yeah, it's fake news.
Fake news. I mean, the news media is extremely concerned, and rightfully so. I mean, that's the whole thing. Everyone's like, the Second Amendment is the most important amendment because without the Second Amendment, you can't protect the First Amendment. And this guy is just going right after the First Amendment, of course, freedom of speech, freedom of the press, which is, kind of horrifying and should send a chilling effect to everyone in this country. But then again, he does reach out to those constituents like that guy that we just talked to who, like, again, Kim Jong-un in North Korea worships a statue of the president. I'll never understand people who just love to be followers like that.
Right.
It's very similar. It was Loki's speech from I forget, one of these Marvel movies. What was the Loki speech?
I don't watch that crap.
It's very good. I watched Doctor Strange the other day. He's a medical doctor, which I thought was impressive enough, and then he became a superhero. Isn't that wild? I said being a medical doctor is a superpower, but then he even got better. So that was interesting. Loki gave a great speech it was the Avengers movie, and just how everyone loves to be a follower. Human beings are naturally sheep, and there's one veteran who stands up and says, "I don't think you're right," and then he does die. But that's exactly what this proves. People love to follow. It's very interesting.
Yeah, I don't know, but I love the rallies. If I could throw rallies for myself and everyone would cheer for me, I wouldn't do anything else.
Well, then
I'd have a rally every day for me.
We have to start one, a Kat Timpf rally tour. I will be your cheerleader. You come on stage. Everyone absolutely goes crazy. You vape all over the place. Clouds and clouds, plumes of vape throughout the crowd. It'd be like Woodstock, but instead of weed, it would be nothing but apple or cherry vape, whatever flavors people are loving.
Yeah.
Stamp flavored.
The world's going nuts.
It's madness.
Woman in Florida, 28 years old, having sex with underage boys
Did I go to high school with her?
In a public bathroom at a war memorial.
Well, I guess she was trying to do her patriotic duty. Why?
Maria Lynn Baker was arrested by Detective Melissa Booty, I don't know how to say her name. Booty.
Sure.
Early Saturday morning on 2 counts of lewd battery based on video evidence. She was listed as homeless.
Wait, hold on. Video evidence in the public bathroom? How'd they get video evidence?
I don't know.
Well, that seems disturbing.
An officer went to West Silver Springs Boulevard and Martin Luther King Jr. Avenue, where Baker and another woman were arguing. The woman showed the officer a video of Baker having sex with a boy. The officer detained her, and Baker told the officer that she was going to jail anyway, so he should arrest her. He learned that Baker was having sex with 2 12 to 14-year-old boys inside a bathroom at the war memorial.
This is inappropriate. Those soldiers did not die for you to do that?
Yeah, for you to have sex with little boys in a bathroom.
So she was homeless and, I guess, sort of prostituting herself. What is happening now? I guess the whole world's changed. Women accosting these young boys.
Yeah.
I couldn't get anything. 13 years old? Oh, my goodness.
She was homeless.
Well.
So I feel like you don't want that.
No, you don't necessarily want that. And I hope she finds a home at some point so she stops having to have sex in public bathrooms.
I did date a homeless guy, but
You dated him? How do you date a homeless guy?
Well,
you can't date a homeless guy.
He wasn't like homeless when we met.
So he just gave you all the money?
No, I mean...
How did he go downhill after meeting you?
That tends to happen.
What?
To guys.
They get worse after meeting you?
I think, thinking back, I think that's true.
Is it you?
I hope not.
But there is a trend.
Yeah.
It's sort of a downward trajectory of
Think of
emotional
everybody
stability.
that you know that I've dated.
Yes.
Are any of them better off now?
Yes. No. Wait. Well, you know what? I will say they are emotionally shaken. So that's good. It's nice to feel alive.
Yeah.
And you definitely make them feel that. You make them feel feelings. And so that's good.
If people don't have feelings, I will give them something to feel.
You'll find the feelings.
I have so many feelings.
Yeah. No, you are a destroyer of lives. I have the WWE Network. Bray Wyatt is now the current. He's going to be fighting at WrestleMania. I got the did I tell you that, Kat? I've been going crazy with the WWE Network.
Oh,
but Bray Wyatt, he says he's the eater of worlds, and that's sort of what you do. But for relationships, you're the eater of relationships.
Yes.
You destroy people, crumble them. But you know what? That's how you make coal. And isn't that a fine natural resource?
Coal.
And pearls. You're really just making them pearls and coal. Because you crush their souls to a point where they're shells of themselves.
But I want to love.
I know you do. You will, and you do. You do. People, because, there are so many people that say, hook me up with Kat. And I said, you know what? I will because I don't like you. and I think that's powerful.
Oh, God.
But you have a good, but a lot of people also they've had a great time with you, and people are very happy. I think they just have to understand you're a busy person.
I'm a busy person.
You're a busy person.
I'm a busy person.
So,
I'm very busy. I'm sitting here with the breast milk Google. My Google history is like little boy sex and breast milk right now. But, the War Memorial bathroom,
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, God.
I can't even imagine how disgusting that War Memorial bathroom is, because it's not like a bar or a restaurant where you're consuming things, so occasionally you might have to evacuate waste. This is an emergency situation.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime you go into the bathroom at a war memorial, there's probably a lot of older people there. This is it's a storm. It's never.
So she must have videotaped it to diddle herself to later, right?
No, I think there was a woman who walked in on it and then started videotaping it.
Oh.
That's what it sounds like. And then she called the police, and I don't know what kind of smut this is. Everyone's filming everything these days. I don't get it. But yeah, I got to say, I guess that's a responsible thing to do if you walk in on something like that.
Yeah.
Start filming it. Although, isn't that person then a
producer of child pornography?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah, so it's like if you film, you can get in trouble if you're underage and you take a nudie of yourself.
Yeah. That's ridiculous. All those laws have to change.
If you're feeling yourself, you're like 15, you want to take a picture of your body, you can get in trouble for producing child pornography.
Well, I think we should praise them for being so confident. I didn't take a picture of my body I never did. I never would.
You sent nudes?
Never. I've never sent a nude in my life. Well, maybe once.
You ever take them though?
Take a nude?
Yeah.
Oh my!
Just for fun,
for fun. Oh, the downward spiral of depression. I would end up eating milky soup. Oh, I did that last night. I would end up just absolutely livid. No, my whole body, it's a nightmare. It's a roller coaster ride. It's not a wonderland by any means. It's a wasteland, to say the least. No, absolutely not.
Few songs make me want to vomit quite like Your Body is a Wonderland.
Well, because John Mayer, you can just imagine him going Roman Polanski, speaking of pedophiles, who now is going to come back. Roman Polanski is going to come back to the States, by the way, and possibly face some charges on the old child pedophilia that he was participating in. Mm-hmm. But yeah, John Mayer, talk about an artist who should have never spoke. He is a classic example of a musician who's just like, shut up and play your music because your personality stinks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He wants to do comedy. And I don't say this because I'm mean. He wants to do stand-up comedy. It's like stand-up comedy requires wit, a sense of humor that is relatable, and a presence that people want to be around, none of which John Mayer has. And now he's a judge on one of these roast battle shows. It's like, why are you saying your body is a wonderland? You are like a disgusting, like you can tell he's a person who would lick a woman at a bar.
I feel like he'd be terrible in bed too.
I'm sure, because the whole time he's like, oh, how can I make this awkward so I can write about it?
Yeah, it's true. Although, never mind.
What's that?
I don't know. Florida man smoked crack after his face was burned by a car fire.
Oh, that's good. I actually have no problem with this man's decision making.
Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh, of course.
A man said he smoked crack on February 11th after his face was severely burned because of a car fire.
Well, I think if your face is severely burned, you can either go out and be a supervillain or smoke some crack.
He said he smoked crack after burn because it, quote, helped with the pain. The Jacksonville Fire Rescue responded on February 10th to the car fire. The car was listed as stolen and had been involved in an aggravated assault against a police officer.
Well, I guess, if you're going to go to jail anyway, you might as well have a last hit of crack. I mean, it shouldn't be over criminalized.
I mean, crack. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like if that was your idea after the car fire to smoke crack, you're probably smoking crack before.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't assume that, the car fire happens, then you quickly find crack and then smoke it. I would think it would probably be on the person.
Yeah.
You're
like, I gotta go to the street now and buy some crack.
Well, but I mean, by today's standards, crack is weaker than Adderall or Ritalin, so you don't even need crack anymore. People who are smoking crack, just go to the doctor, get a prescription. You'll be living better than you have with the rock.
I don't even know how or when or where I would find crack.
I have no idea. I had one experience in Minneapolis many, many years ago. We're going to be back in St. Paul, Minneapolis, by the way, next weekend for a Live Last podcast on the left. It was just somebody had crack, and it didn't seem to really be – no one seemed to act any differently when they smoked it. It seems like it was just bad coke.
Yeah.
Isn't that the thing with crack? I don't understand why everyone went so crazy with the crack. Everyone's like, oh, my God, it's going to kill your whole family. It's like, it's just bad coke.
Well, wasn't it racist? It was a racial thing,
It was
right?
a racial thing, absolutely. And the CIA did plant, they created it and they did plant it in urban areas. And then, of course, it all correlates with the prison industrial complex being an extension of slavery. If you look at Angola prison, it literally was built on a plantation, and they started over-criminalizing and over-prosecuting and over-policing these communities and arresting people for small crimes and, way over-sentencing them. So anyway, but that's a whole nother story. This is a fun podcast, though, because we go all over the place.
Yeah, we're talking about crack.
Yep.
Talking about drug laws. Talking about a lot of talk about breast milk.
A lot, mostly breast milk. Still, I think it's still that.
I mean, I just wonder if there's anybody who makes a living full time.
I mean, that's the most American thing I've ever heard in my life, and I think it's wonderful. If you can be your own industry, your own company, making breast milk, I mean, go for it. Why not? Women we talk about women getting paid less in the workforce. I think that does happen, but this is an opportunity where it's more lucrative.
And you could be like an independent contractor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, you know what? I want a day off. Although I think you can't really take a day off because you got to keep pumping it or it won't.
I think it stops at some point. Yeah, I think it's one of those things where it's like if you don't use it, you'll lose it.
That's where that saying came from.
Breast milk?
Boobs. Boobs milk. I did not set an alarm today, and I'm glad. I mean, I woke up anyways because my head hurt so bad.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I wake up. I'm getting older, so I wake up to go to the bathroom about 3 times a night now.
Gross. Your prostate?
I don't know. Is that what it is?
I don't know. I'm not even sure that I entirely understand what a prostate is.
I have no clue. I haven't been to the doctor in almost a decade.
That's terrible. You got to go.
Well, I just want to go naturally.
What is a prostate?
Well, they say it's a orgasmic gland for the American man.
Ew.
And men in general.
A gland surrounding the neck of the bladder in male mammals and releasing prostatic fluid.
I guess it's a good thing. I'm not a doctor. I don't know how doctors do it all day.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Like, why would you want to be like a gynecologist?
I mean, in theory, 13-year-olds, you was just like, oh, you get to look at women all day, but then it's never like.
But it's like herpes.
Yeah.
You get to look at herpes.
Yeah.
I mean, you get to look at herpes.
And that was the actual Hand That Rocks the Cradle. That was the Robert De Niro. That's what he did in the beginning with Rebecca De Mornay. Do you remember that movie?
No, I
You actually kind of look like Rebecca De Mornay. You remember Rebecca De Mornay?
I don't know who that is.
Oh, she was a very famous actress back in the day. She had a multitude of films, maybe 2. and she did very well in those movies. But she was assaulted by her doctor, who was a gynecologist. Then she was
in real life?
No, in the movie. Robert De Niro. And then she went to take care of his children, and then she killed the whole family.
Oh, that sounds like an excellent film.
Yeah, it was pretty good. And then, of course, they had to deal with her too.
But yeah,
I don't want to give the ending away. It's only a 25-year-old.
Why would you kill the whole family?
Well, she tried to. She was upset, I guess. I don't know. But she was trying to lactate the children. She was trying to give them that.
Oh my God!
So isn't that strange? It's all coming together.
You know what? There's a lot of weird stuff going on. I don't know.
Yeah, people get all up about this prostate stuff. I say leave it alone. But some guys absolutely love, that kind of activity.
Things in the butt.
Yeah.
Which we said we wouldn't talk about it. Butts.
No, we're not talking about it.
Yeah.
Some guys seem to really enjoy those sorts of activities, and that's well within their rights. Should be legal. This isn't, the whole country.
Where did the word butt come from?
That's a good question. Where did the word butt come from?
Oh, man. Buttocks. Singular buttock. It's buttock is singular.
Buttock? So
yeah.
if you're looking at one person, you'd be like, that's a nice buttock?
Butt. I just looked at the definition of butt.
I have never actually heard the definition.
I am an 8-year-old boy. But the common term for a pair of buttocks in the U.S.
Only in the U.S.? That's not a universal term?
I guess not.
If I go over to, like, South Africa, I would be like, butt. They wouldn't know what I'm talking about? They give me, like, a steak dinner or something?
No.
That's ridiculous. That is you forget that these words do have definitions that are like someone has to write down.
The surname butt or butts is said to be driven from the French word butt, which is a noun meaning target.
Oh, really? So the person
that's the name butt.
So the person who was just like, that's a butt, was obviously aiming for it. It was just like, that's my sexual target. We'll
Absolutely.
call it a butt. Oh, that's so funny. Of course, it's the French.
Yeah, well,
you got to respect them.
I think it'd be really hard to go through life with your last name being Butt.
Boutte, I think that's what they say. They call it Boutte. It's like Butte is a last name that's fairly common.
There was a kid named, I think his name was Brian Butts or something.
You better be like super jocular and like awesome.
That went to my elementary school, and I don't know what he's doing now. Like, how do you make it out?
That's a tough one.
Brian Butts.
Brian Butts.
And they make it worse with the alliteration too. Like, yep, it's Butts, and we're going to it. We're going with it.
But you can make that work though too. If you have a great butt, that's absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, but
Brian Butts.
But
it sounds like he's either a chain smoker who can't get enough whiskey, or he's just a super buff person who works out on a regular basis.
Brian Butts reporting live.
I would listen to a Brian Butts report with the Butts report.
Yeah,
that sounds amazing. Of course, you would have to report solely on butts, but that's okay.
Why do I think it's butt is just funny? It's funny to talk about butts. It's butts are fun. I don't know.
It's a funny word. It's a light word. It's bubbly. There's nothing. It's not harsh.
This guy is named the Trump guy. His name is Gene Huber.
Okay.
And he's not on Twitter.
That's actually good.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. Oh my God, he is. There's a picture of him standing next to his Trump cardboard.
Get out of here! I have
out.
to see that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it is amazing. This man, that's not really Donald. I wonder if he puts a little voice thing behind it, so it just says "You're great" every time it walks by him. Every time he walks by it.
His description is Donald J. Trump changed America.
Well, that is sort of true into kind of Russia.
There's nothing on his. Oh my gosh, it's very, very Trump.
Well, Trump used. He talks about fake news. 33% of the Trump Twitter bots were fake. Of Trump supporters on the internet on Twitter are fake, which is kind of interesting to think about. Well, I'm just happy the guy seems inspired for the first time in his life. I mean, I guess I don't want this guy to be sad, because guys like that are sad do go around, again, licking girls in bars or doing random things in bathrooms by war memorials. So it's good that he has some inspiration, I suppose. There's
absolutely no nuanced political view on this Twitter.
Yeah, he's a Donald Trump supporter.
Yeah, it's very, very, very Trump.
I mean, it's a cult of personality. They love him for him. And that's why he's able to get away with these totally un-American things,
Yeah, no matter what Trump does, it's all about Trump. Man, I would never love anything enough to have a giant cardboard cutout of it in my house.
Well, I did have one of Michael Jordan, and I think I had one of Patrick Ewing, but I didn't salute them.
Or pray to them.
Yes.
See, well, yeah, he said praise for safety, but it said like he prays like directly to the cardboard also.
Yeah, there is a sort of theocratic vibe to the true Trump believers. They do see it as a sort of a version of a religion, which is fascinating to think about.
Yeah, religion in general is fascinating to think about. I miss having one.
Well, Go with secular humanism. I always find that to be the best one, Kat.
What's that?
Well, that's basically self-reliance. You are your own God. You are the own creator of your reality.
That's the worst thing I've ever heard.
Well, it's somewhat tied to Satanism, which, of course, I have two very close friends. Marcus and Henry are both, you had Henry Zabrowski on this show. He loves Satan.
Times.
Can't get enough of the guy.
I know.
I mean, it's
I had him on for a Halloween episode.
Oh, yeah, good. He loves Satan. But it's all secular humanism, and it really is it's a powerful, it's a good libertarian religion as well, if you want to, believe those political beliefs. So I think you should investigate that. You don't need a fake deity to pray to or anything. You are it. You are in control of your destiny.
Beer company gives its staff a week's paid paternity leave.
Oh, I love this story. Yes, for the dogs.
Yeah.
I think that's absolutely wonderful. It is a private company making a private decision. They're a brewery. If you get a new dog, what is it, 4 weeks?
You get a week off.
A week off, and that's good because you got to bond with the dog.
Okay, but not cats?
Oh, my cats don't bond, Kat.
Yes,
they
do. Cats bond because my cat loves me and not others.
Cheens loves me too.
Cheens and you did cuddle once.
We cuddled twice. Yes. When I fell asleep because I was too drunk to leave your apartment.
That's true.
I also cuddled with Cheens.
That's true. He was probably like, who is this monster?
Better cuddle with him, otherwise he's gonna eat me. I said, "That's right, Cheens. Get over here."
Oh,
I'd scare the cat.
I love Cheens, man.
Yeah, but they don't have the same need for human interaction as dogs.
No, they
dogs
don't.
need it. Like, do you ever see the videos of dogs when they're actually left home alone and there's like 8 hours of hell for them?
Yeah.
Cats love those 8 hours.
Yeah, my cat just lives in a closet. Like he spends half his life in a closet.
He does.
But it's all good. Have you ever I remember one time I drank a little too much and I was trying to convince you that I was going to buy a dog.
Yep.
And
you never
didn't,
did.
You didn't believe me. How crazy is it that after brunch, I would be allowed to just go get a dog?
I mean, I guess it's better than buying a gun.
There's no waiting period.
No, you did. They were giving them away basically.
I just walk in there and I'll say, "I one dog, please."
Yep.
And they give me a dog.
Like $150.
How long would it take me to kill the dog, not on purpose?
Before the dog dies of natural causes because you did not take care of it at all?
I would take care of it, but...
Well, I don't think... It would probably just end up eating the cat first just to try to live. Although Cheens is a big cat, you'd probably get a small dog.
Cheens is a big cat, and Cheens is an asshole.
I give the dog a month.
A month?
Yeah, a month. I mean, once you buy the dog, if you do kill the dog, you can go to jail. So you have to be very careful.
Yeah, I wouldn't kill it on purpose, and I wouldn't neglect it. So I just would go with not getting a dog.
I would love to get a dog. I cannot wait. And I love this paternity thing. I mean, because no one's having kids anymore.
No, they're not.
Kids are out. Dogs are in. Get a dog.
Yeah, kids. I mean, I could also, come to think of that, I could just have a kid.
Well, that is a good point. But now extra dangerous if you let it die. Because they don't look at Casey Anthony. They got mad at her.
But she's nobody's that mad at her.
Oh, people were mad at her.
They're mad, but she didn't get in trouble.
Well, she was found innocent because she blamed the death of her daughter on her parents. So I think they're strained still, but they'll get over it at some point. You only have one set of parents. And it did work. But yeah, I mean, you want to be careful, because that might hurt your public image. Or in your situation, it might make it stronger.
To have a baby?
And then kill it. I'm
not going to kill my baby. I mean, it was because she was hot.
Casey Anthony?
Yeah.
I get, once you go through the legal system, ideas, beauty standards, I think, sort of fade a little bit. She was hot for someone who killed her baby. Right? She wasn't no one's like, hey, come to Fashion Week and walk the catwalk.
Right.
It's like you're only hot because the other women that killed their baby are morbidly obese or, just not quite as hot as Casey Anthony.
Yeah.
In the world of mothers who kill babies, yes, Casey Anthony is like a 10. But in reality, she's just an average person.
That's true, but the pictures of her partying and I don't know, man. It's
Well, I thought they did kind of demonize her. Just because she parties doesn't mean that she's going to kill her kid. That is the dumbest. Whenever they start to take apart people's characters, all they show is pictures of them having a good time, and they're like, must be a horrible person. They smiled 4 times, which I thought was kind of bogus.
Really? You don't think it's weird that when her daughter was missing, she was at the bar dancing on the tables and whatever else?
Well, I didn't think that was appropriate, but maybe she thought her daughter was still alive.
But she just couldn't find her.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Maybe my daughter's at this club. And if I shake my ass around enough, I'll find her.
Maybe her daughter was very smart. I was watching Lemony Snicket on Netflix, and the baby in that is a smart, powerful baby who eats everything. So maybe that's what she thought. But I don't know. Either way, Casey Anthony, she was in the wrong because, well, she was legally found innocent. But I do believe she probably killed her daughter, right?
She did. She has to, of course.
Right? Yeah.
I just don't know how you get to that point in your life. You just kill your kid, and it's pretty crappy situation.
I think the baby was about 2 years old. Terrible twos, they call those. I guess she couldn't handle it. You got to deal. See, I don't mind. See, I like kids because I took care of children at the YMCA when I was growing up. We always had foster kids all running around. I love little manic, crazy kids running all around. Why not? Have a good time. Get wild.
Father 50 and son 22, both killed in a head-on crash with each other.
Oh, my God. Like father, like son. That is wild.
The father's Ford pickup collided with his son's Chevrolet.
Oh, different kind of a feud in the family between car brands.
That's terrible. Look at this and look at the photo.
So they hit. Oh, well, he looks like, what was the name of that? Ken Bone.
Yeah, he does look like Ken Bone. I mean, that is a bad day. There's all kinds of terrible stuff going on. You know what I mean?
There is. And so whatever you're going through right now, just remember you're not a father who just killed his son, and you're not a son who just got killed by his father, and vice versa.
At the same time.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Okay. What do you think about people not wanting to sit next to Tiffany Trump at New York Fashion Week, and then Whoopi Goldberg came to the rescue?
Oh,
she was like, I would sit with you.
Oh, I think that's nice of Whoopi. I've actually heard my friend works makeup and hair on The View, and he says Whoopi is exceptionally nice.
Yeah.
So that was good to hear. Apparently she's very nice. And our friend Jedediah is on that show.
Yes.
Who is also extremely nice and a wonderful person. But I think that's great. I mean, Tiffany Trump didn't run for office. Tiffany Trump is the daughter. I like Tiffany Trump because she's the black sheep of the family.
Yeah.
She's the Kennedy they wouldn't let out of the basement.
Mm-hmm.
She's Marla Maples' daughter that Donald Trump had the affair with. That was the affair baby. So he was always trying to hide her, and everyone's like, making her feel bad. She didn't run for office. She's not saying the bigoted, things that Trump says. She didn't have anything to do with the Muslim travel ban.
Yeah.
Leave her alone.
I agree with that. Who's an asshole on The View? Did your friend know who's an asshole?
Oh, Joy Behar.
Really? She's just mean?
Just mean. Just classic mean. I used to do Current TV over there. That was my first television appearance years ago. That was Al Gore's television network. She had a little show there. She had her own makeup crew, and she was just screaming at people constantly like Current TV was an actual television network. And, the ego of these people. I'll never understand people. And it's always the ones who espouse, like, super liberal beliefs and pretend like they're holier than thou. It's always those people that are the mean ones. They treat working class people like trash. And then they go on television and pretend like they protect them or care about them at all. Yeah. But, yeah, apparently she's extremely mean, snippy, and not funny.
Yeah, she's also not funny, which is the worst you can possibly.
Yes, but I was very happy to hear that Whoopi was nice because I'm pro Whoopi. Regardless if you like her political opinions or not, I think she's a fun person and she's a thinker in her own way, and she's been through a lot, and she's fought really hard to get where she is. So I do respect the whoops. And she made I think she was in a movie called Coming to America, which was a great film with Ted Danson.
Teacher turned stripper who slept with 17-year-old hundreds of times is sentenced to 3 months in jail.
Did I go to high school with her? What is happening? So it's all women. I haven't heard so many women having sex with minors in my entire life.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you hear about the one?
Is that the new thing?
Yeah, I guess. That one that got pregnant or whatever by a 13-year-old boy.
No.
Did you not hear about that? Oh yeah.
What?
She was sentenced to 10 years.
What?
It was in Texas.
Kat, you're a woman. As you grow older, I mean, I can't imagine what woman likes a younger man, like a younger, like 13-year-old,
a child.
What woman likes that?
So the story here, nobody. This woman, apparently Alexandria Vera, does. She met the boy. He messaged her on Instagram. And then she drove to his house, had sex with him. They continued the relationship throughout the school year, having sex almost daily. Students noticed the two flirting between classes. He, grabbed her butt, and everyone saw it, one student told ABC.
Well, that's a target.
And then they were talking about it. The kid was always over the house. She told the neighbors that it was her brother. And then when she got pregnant, She said that the family was excited about it, and they were gonna they were very supportive and excited. The boy's parents had no problem with it, with the relationship when she was introduced as his girlfriend in the first half of last year.
So this kid would have a baby at 13 years old?
And the family's like, this is great.
Lock them all up. That is insane.
I know. I love the, he said she was hoping for probation, but the Associated Press reports the judge chose to make an example of the case. The judge, we want our educators to teach our students, he said in court. We want them to keep their hands off the students.
Yeah. To teach them, not have sex with them.
And get pregnant.
Oh, my God. Well, that is, I am not a Meninist. I am not a men's rights activist. But that is one of the areas that is true when it comes to prosecuting men over women. The fact that this was even up for debate to give this woman 10 years. If this was a guy with the exact opposite, he would be in there for 25 guaranteed. The fact that they were even wondering probation. No, she groomed, courted, and dated a 13-year-old student.
But look at her, but she's super hot too.
That's her?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, this is just what is happening to the world. Why would she have sex with a 13-year-old?
She clearly is into 13-year-olds specifically.
For those at home, she is very
Alexandria
attractive.
Vera, you got to look her up. She's one of the most gorgeous people I've ever seen in my life.
Well, I mean, again, by female teachers who molested a 13-year-old
No, I don't
standard.
even think so. I think that she's a
very attractive person.
Yeah, I mean,
why? What on earth? Well, now we have a whole series of scenes working out in our minds about the prison situation she'll be in.
Oh, that's true.
10 years.
10 years is a long time.
Oh my goodness. Well, I think she'll be treated like a goddess.
Yeah, she has a 4-year-old daughter, which is a bummer.
How old is this woman?
Let me look it up.
She's got a 4-year-old.
She had sex. It's her 25.
She's 25 with a 4-year-old. Okay. Which that is fine. That's normal.
Yeah.
13. And a woman so attractive. Why would she do that? I don't know. I don't know what people are thinking. I guess maybe they like the risk of it, or the legality.
They had sex almost daily for 9 months.
Oh.
She told investigators that they love each other, according to court documents. Oh my.
Well, you remember that Mary Kay Letourneau story when we were growing up, Kat? Remember Mary Kay Letourneau? She had sex with a student. They got married.
Yeah, they got
married. And they're
married.
still married.
Oh my gosh.
After she got out of prison, they tied the knot. I mean, maybe that's the similar situation here. I don't think the boy is going to wait for her, quite frankly. But
prosecutors say Vera groomed the child and his family, even moving the teen and his father into her home and pretending she was dating the father. She also bought groceries for the boy's family and paid the phone bills.
Well, I guess it's nice to have internet access and things like that. That is madness.
Oh my gosh. Okay, the daughter I guess was 6. This is some people say 4, some people 6. She called the 13-year-old dad.
Oh my goodness, that is disgusting.
So this is bad.
This 13-year-old, who would want that kind of responsibility at 13?
To be a dad?
Yeah, you got to take care of a 6-year-old? I mean, that is wild. Well, hopefully the kid has been taken out of all homes, and the foster care system is usually just a stepping stone into the human sex trade, but, hopefully the kid's okay.
She'll be eligible for parole in 5 years, and then he'll be legal, so.
I guess so, if he waits. Yeah, I guess so. That is such a strange story because of her physical attraction.
Yeah, well, she loved him.
I get, that is, well, I'm not going to say different strokes because that's just disgusting.
Yeah. All right, well, I mean, we're wrapping up now. We've been about, an hour. But I did want to know, we've covered breast milk.
Yeah, we got that.
Crack.
Yep. The root of boutte.
The root of butt.
Yep.
A lot of breast milk stuff, a lot of child molester stuff.
Yeah, a shocking amount of women molesting the kids. I say if you're a gal out there, leave them alone.
I told you, some guy used to make out with in high school. He's in jail right now.
That's right. We both have high school friends of ours who are in jail or could be in jail.
He's in jail. He's on jail on a $250,000 bond.
Oh.
And I was up all night after that, looking at him and his wife's wedding photos.
So what? Now this guy was arrested for underage sex.
Underage sexual activity with his students. He's an 8th grade teacher.
These teachers,
Yeah.
God, how do you look at a kid? They're so disgusting.
Yeah.
They're full of disease. How do you? Oh, I'll never quite understand it. We had a lot of kids when I was doing foster care who were molested, and I met a lot of these people, and they're true monsters. But that's my. I get upset when I think about those people.
Yeah, Mary Kay Letourneau,
Yep.
Deborah LaFave. Oh gosh, remember Deborah LaFave?
I do, yeah.
She was beautiful.
Yeah, why is that?
I mean, she was literally one of the most beautiful people ever, but she didn't even have to go to jail at all
She didn't.
because she was bipolar. They said so. She just had to stay home.
So she molested a kid because she was bipolar?
Yeah, I guess.
See, that defense would not work for a man.
No, I was bipolar. But I mean, look at this beautiful.
Let me see her again. I haven't seen her in years. That's a 90s story, isn't it? That's right.
She's super hot. And her husband stayed with her through it, but then he eventually divorced her. But he stayed with her for a little bit.
That's how hot she was.
Yeah.
He found out he was dating a pedophile or married to a pedophile, and he stayed with her.
Yeah.
We have to start treating them. They are pedophiles.
Yeah.
There's nothing cute and fun about it.
Sometimes, I love this story, sometimes Deborah LaFave's former husband feels like he's wearing a sign around his neck that reads, "I'm Owen LaFave. My wife slept with the child."
Well, that's never good.
I'm not proud of it. I wish it didn't happen, but it did, and I have to live with it.
It's a long sign.
Oh, my gosh.
You should come and get some change in New York City.
I have to believe that all of this happened to me for a reason,
'Cause you're an
LaFave
idiot.
said in a telephone interview. I took a lot because of what she did. I heard all the jokes in the cable talk shows and how guys say they wish they had a teacher like her. Some people thought she did this because of me. They thought I was gay or we didn't have an intimate sexual relationship. He's like, just so you know, I did bang her too.
I did have sex
I
with
was
that
also
pedophile.
banging her.
Yeah.
I went through a severe depression. Yeah, I'd betcha. I'll never forget that day. I was in disbelief and shock. Her mother called. I was crushed.
Oh, poor guy. That is so funny that he clarified. He's like, yeah, she's a pedophile, but I still boned her, okay?
Yeah.
I'm all man.
He says, I knew it was the end of our marriage. I told her we were going to be divorced, but I think they ended up I don't know if he stayed for a little bit, but now he's got a new wife.
Oh, that's good.
Okay.
Well, keep her away from the kids.
I guess he
Liz.
didn't stay with her. I thought he did stay with her.
I don't think you can. I think at that point, that's kind of a deal breaker. It's one of those rare situations where even the Catholic Church might allow the divorce, although the Catholic Church is probably all for what she did.
Okay, no, yeah, he did divorce her.
Good.
But he wants you to know, people were talking smack that she had to go to 14-year-old because she wasn't getting it at home. She was getting it at home, too.
Oh, I'm happy that
she
he clarified.
100% was getting at home also.
Oh, good for him.
Teacher, sex, student.
It's such a guy thing to say about this whole thing. No sympathy for the victim or anything. Just be like, I was banging her too.
Yeah.
What an idiot.
Oh, man.
You have to know there's some character flaw in the person that you're marrying if they end up being a pedophile. Don't you know that? Isn't there some warning sign staring at children at a Ponderosa or something? Isn't there something they do where you're just like, maybe this person isn't right?
Maybe, you'd think.
I would think so, but it's even more scary that they might just be normal.
Amira Sadi, 30, Clayton County, Georgia. Math teacher at Mundy Mill High School was arrested and charged with sexual assault of a student in November 2005. She reportedly remarked she didn't think her relationship was inappropriate based on her internet research. Learning Georgia's age of consent is 16.
Okay, well, that's a bit more of a gray area then. I mean, no matter what, you're breaking the teacher-student contract. Where
you
don't have
can't
sex
phone
with...
your students.
Yes.
All right, anything you want to promote? This will come out tomorrow.
It's all good. I'm doing, I guess Red Eye then at 3 o'clock in the morning, if you want to check that out. I don't think we're going to talk about any of these stories. Probably not. Host Tom Shalhoub might not like them very much. Check out Abe Lincoln's Top Hat. Extremely successful political podcast. It's up-to-date, informative, and fun, and it doesn't make you want to shoot your brains against the wall. And Last Podcast on the Left, everything true crime, paranormal activity. We have some T-shirts and all those things. You can find all that stuff on Cave Comedy Radio.
Ben Kissel, everybody. All right. Bye, guys.
Thank you, Kat.
Bye. Help my podcast stay free to download with minimal ads. The responses will help align the appropriate advertisers to my audience. Survey short, completely anonymous, takes no more than 5 minutes. There's 2 easy ways to do it, too. You go to www.podcastone.com/mysurvey, or you can go to podcastone.com and click on the survey banner. They're both really easy. And if you filled out our survey in the past, I really, really thank you for doing it. But we still need you to do it again. Please, please, please do it all. You'll do everybody at Kat Timpf Show and Podcast One a really big favor by filling it out. Thank you so much for supporting my program and for taking time to complete the survey. Really, really, really appreciate it. Thanks, guys.